Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, there's probably no other issue that I get more phone calls and emails about except for property tax relief. It's something that I hear about every single day. When I ran for office, other than the border, property tax relief is the promise that I made to my constituents. And I'm just disappointed in the amount of property tax relief that we're going to be giving to our citizens of this great state. And I have a very simple amendment that increases the personal homestead exemption from $140,000 to $160,000. I move adoption.
Mr. Bryant, for what purpose?
Will the gentleman yield for question?
Will the gentleman yield for questions?
I do.
The gentleman yields.
Mr. Olcott, Mr. Meyer offered an amendment earlier to make sure our school districts were protected from the $140,000 exemption. And in my case, if he hadn't offered that amendment, it would have cost my district $68 million a year. Does Mr. Meyer's amendment also pay for the extra $20,000 exemption that you're adding? Or is it going to come out of the height of our school districts?
I'm not advised. It will.
Well, without that answer, how?
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
And where did you get that answer? I want to be sure the answer is authoritative and accurate. It's critical to every one of our districts.
All his amendment did, from what I understand, is change the date.
Excuse me?
From what I understand, all his amendment did was to change the date.
Well, I think we're going to have to ask him about that. I would hope members would withhold judgment on your amendment until we find out if it's going to be paid for or if it's going to come out of our school districts.
So I'm looking at the amendment right now. It looks like it just changes the date. And you're welcome to look at the amendment that's already been offered.
I would have to say it, and I hope you would agree.
His hold harmless amendment does not talk about the amounts. It only refers to the date.
Well, no, but the question is, what effect does his amendment have? Not the specific words. Does his amendment have the effect of covering, paying for out of state funds the additional exemption you're adding, or is it going to come out of our school districts is the question. And without the
state funds,
without a valid answer to that, a reliable answer to that, I hope members will withhold judgment until we get that answer.
My amendment simply changes the amount. It doesn't change anything else.
Mr. Speaker.
Ms. Griffin-Hawkins, for what purpose?
Will the gentleman yield for questions?
Will the gentleman yield for questions?
I will.
The gentleman yields.
We all want property tax relief for our citizens.
Yes, ma'am.
But have you done an actuarial review of what this additional amount, how it will impact our cities and our counties?
No, man, I have not done an actual review. All I know is that we have more than a $24 billion surplus in sales tax revenue, and I think more of it needs to be going to provide property tax relief to our citizens who are struggling every year to make their payments.
And I appreciate that, sir, but let's get away from the hyperbole, and let's talk about real numbers to start impacting our other taxing entities the more we continue to rise this up. So there is no numbers that you've calculated. You just come and say, I want to raise what's already in the bill, correct?
I'm here simply to ask for the personal homestead exemption to be increased from $140,000 to $160,000. It's that simple.
Thanks for clarifying. So there is no numbers that we know right now that will tell us the impact. Thank you.
I move passage.
The chair recognizes Mr. Meyer in opposition.
Members, I move to table this amendment. As I've discussed, as I've done this for my third session, being chair of Ways and Means whenever we do property tax relief, this is a tightly negotiated relief package that we have worked with the governor, lieutenant governor, Senator Betancourt, speaker, myself, to land at this number. This is the amount of money that we have for property tax relief. And so, Mr. Olcott probably can't even tell you how much that costs, so we don't know where that money would come from. And so we need to stick to what has been agreed to with the Senate and the governor and providing almost $10 billion in property tax relief. This is one part of it. And so for those reasons, I move to table the amendment.
Just one.
Mr. Wally, for what purpose?
Just gentleman yield for
Will the gentleman
just
yield for
a
questions?
few questions, clarifications.
Yes.
Gentleman yields.
Chairman Meyer, this amendment, although in its face looks like it's something would be positive for homeowners, there's no way to pay for that amendment, that extra $20,000. Is that my understanding?
Correct. And I don't know what that would do to the rest of the budget. I don't know what that would do to the additional property tax relief. Correct. We don't know where that money would come from.
Right, and so you talked about the budget. Right now, as we're finalizing budget negotiations between both chambers, we landed at a number for property tax relief. Is that my understanding as well?
Yes, we did. That's correct, Representative.
Okay, and so if we adopt this amendment, we would have to cut other parts of the budget to pay for this part of the budget. Is that how I understand
Absolutely,
it?
absolutely, and unequivocally correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Collier, for what purpose?
Mr. Speaker, will the gentleman yield for
Will the
questions?
gentleman yield for questions?
I will yield.
The gentleman yields.
Chair Meyer, just to follow along Chair Wally's questioning, if this were to pass, it would not be funded and therefore would not be implemented because the budget is just about done and this has not been accounted for. In fact, wouldn't you agree that there was opportunities to present this type of amendment to the budget to ensure that it was included so that way we can all give it careful consideration?
That's absolutely correct. There were opportunities throughout the entire budget process this could have been addressed, and it wasn't.
Thank you so much. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.